What's up, weebs? Now that 2023 has been over for a couple of days, I have done my thinking, and now I have my top 3 music projects of the last year. Now, fair warning, I am a little basic when it comes to music taste. A lot of my stuff is just rap, rock, and J-pop right now, but these are my top 3 projects. I'm only calling them projects because I have 2 albums and an EP on here. And I don't really know how to add anything else, to be honest. 2023 felt kind of like a year where I didn't really explore music as much as I used to, but I still really enjoyed what came out. Starting the list, let's start at number 3. Starting the list, I got Michael by Killer Mike. Now, 2 things here. Number 1, if I'm gonna talk about the rap game, I'm gonna talk about how I love the South. The South is my side from the rap game. Paul Wall, 3 6 Mafia, Project Pat, anything like that, from Texas to Florida, in between. I love it all. South rap has grown to be my favorite area just because of all the groups and all the individual people that have come out from that area. I really like the flow. I like the beats a lot more than anything. That being said, the one sacrilegious thing from that is this was my first Killer Mike album. For a long time, I really thought Killer Mike was just some like political talking guy, because the only time I've seen him was when he was talking to Bernie Sanders back in like 2015, 2016. And I thought that's just what he did. So when I heard he had an album coming out and I recognized the name, I got thrown off. But what an album to start with. Michael is a beautifully produced album. Amazing beats, amazing switch ups on certain songs. I have these songs lists pulled up. I think it's Shed Tears that has the switch up, and it's super nice. It's super nice. The storytelling in most of these songs are incredible. Particularly Slummer and Something for the Junkies have really good start to finish storytelling, and I cannot talk about this album without talking about the features on this thing. People like CeeLo Green, Andre 3000, to Young Thug, Future, and even Jagged Edge. I couldn't. It's such a good album. It's so many bangers, so many good stories. Like I said, I think this album is really good. One of best albums to start with if I was gonna listen to Killer Mike, and I'm really glad this is what I heard. I'm not gonna lie, I still have yet to dive back into Killer Mike, but we've been exploring other music for a while, so that's gonna be my number 3 spot. Killer Mike with Michael. I almost called it Scientists and Engineers, but that is one of my top 3 songs. The other 2 being Slumber and Spaceship Views. I just like 2 Chainz. Slumber had a really good story, plus the Jagged Edge parts were really good. To prep for this video, I've been listening to this album a lot again, and I still really enjoy it from the first listen. Speaking of still really enjoy, number 2, Good Kid 3, the only EP in this list by the same name band, Good Kid. This is their 3rd EP. I found Good Kid through the Spotify Weekly Discovery maybe 2 years ago now, sometime in 2021, and I was a fan at first listen. Good Kid is this, I don't know if I want to call them indie rock or just regular rock band, that has amazing vocals that they just pair so well with their instrumental plays, that I can't help but like almost every single song they drop, including, but I didn't put it on here, so honorable mention to From the Start cover that they did. Maybe when did that come out? Let's do a little live research, huh? It came out the beginning of November of 2023, and love it. I love it so much. Good Kid 3 specifically. Let's talk about Good Kid 3. They are, from what I've seen, maybe just because I started following them recently, or they pop up on my TikTok very frequently at this point. They were very transparent with the meaning and inspiration behind each song here. Like how they talk about, let's talk about one of my favorite songs, the Mimi's Delivery Service, how just straight up just pulled off of Kiki's Delivery Service, how that was their main inspiration for the song. And also, I think this is Mimi's Delivery Service is the one they completely recorded everything over Discord. which seemed really cool. It seemed like really cool and really neat that they were just able to talk about that in the process of that. And I really enjoyed how open they are with talking about all of these songs like that. I know they've done that with other songs. They have some other song that is like a direct reference to Full Metal Alchemist. I'm pretty sure it's actually called Alchemist. I think I know exactly what song I'm talking about. But Good Kid has been a little light on my music world for this past 2 years. I think since I've found them, every single one of my Spotify raps have had them at least in the top 2. I know this past year I had them as my number 1, and I only had one album that could beat them. I only had one. And speaking of, oh, by the way, before we get off Good Kid 3, my 3 favorite songs are going to be Mimi's Delivery Service, Madeline, and First Rate Town. Those are my top 3 of that EP. Finally, at the end of this list, we have Who Would Have Thought. As a little rock enjoyer, this is why. Paramore's latest album, this came out February of last year. And oh my god, I mean, like, what did you expect? I don't remember when I started listening to Paramore, but obviously, like most of us, fell in love instantly. And then After Laughter came out, and they decided to change a lot of their sound, and just a wonderful change up that was. Instantly shout out to my favorite Paramore album for a long time, for an absolute long time. And then This Is Why came out, and they kind of mixed that After Laughter, like 80s pop punk, I don't want to call it pop punk, but like pop rock, with their classic Paramore sound, and it works so well. It works so good. It's absolutely a beautiful mix of that new and old sound together, and a lot more of the same Paramore we knew in a fresh way. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time explaining why this Paramore album was so good, but I just enjoyed it so much that I have a kind of a tough time deciding what I like more between this and After Laughter. These are definitely tied for my first place of favorite Paramore album. I just really like them so much. I would have to say, I think for This Is Why, I'm definitely putting You First, Liar, and Thick Skull as my favorite songs. You First is just such a banger, such an absolute banger. Those are my top 3 projects of this year. I don't think I have any honorable mentions, really. I mean, like, For All the Dogs was a good Drake album recently, especially. I think that's really it. I don't really know. I already talked about the From the Start cover that Good Kid did, so I think that's pretty much all I have for it. But I'm just taking a small dive into the music side. I just wanted to talk about these a little bit, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope if you haven't heard any of these, you give them a listen, especially Good Kid, because I'm on the Good Kid agenda. I'm pushing that everywhere I can. And let me know some of your favorite albums of the past year in 2023, or even just songs if you have that. And I will catch you guys later.